that the winner of the Hudson Private and Corporate Sector Award for 2009 is Fiona Reynolds.
I thought I'd better write a couple of notes this morning because I hadn't really given it that much thought. And I called down to State Parliament, and so I have them jotted on the back of an order of business. I hope mine's a bit more interesting. I would like to thank Telstra and Hudson for giving me an award for doing something that I absolutely love. I'm very fortunate for that opportunity. I'm also very grateful to the Examiner newspaper. It hired me as a 17-year-old butcher's daughter from St Helens, who knew really more about what a cut of steak was, what a good cut of steak was, than what made a good news story. But they took me on the basis that I said I was a sticky beak, so I'd want to know everything that was going on, and they gave me an opportunity. And as I say, for that, I've always been very grateful to the company. They hired me back 20 years later as editor, and really what they hired at that time was someone who had had 15 years in broadcast, in television and radio with the ABC. So there were a lot of questions about why were they hiring a girl from broadcast? What did she know about newspapers? And I had to keep telling people that the Examiner was the newspaper that gave me a start, that I didn't forget everything that I knew in newspapers, and that hopefully I'd bring some other skills to it. So really for me, I was coming back home, and it was the right fit. It was also the right fit because bringing broadcast skills to newspapers, I think now, are essential. We're in a multimedia environment. We can't just be newspapers, and we don't approach the Examiner and the other publications that we have under the Examiner banner in that way. So what we're doing now is video and audio, and I'm finding that I'm writing TV notes, tips for journos on those things, and I guess it's the right culmination of all of the experience over those years, and the Examiner is really committed to being a true multimedia player, and that means it's a very exciting time for us. It's also a very challenging time because it's about how we actually make money out of that. Obviously we're a business, so it's how the challenge now for all newspapers is how you actually monetise that with our online sites. We don't do these things alone, obviously. Success is always based on the team that you have around you. And when I walked back into the Examiner, I was fortunate there were a lot of people who were still there, who'd been there when I was the first year cadet. And they didn't ever, treat me like I was the kid. They embraced me, got on with the job, and I have the most wonderful team of people around me, and they have been so enthusiastic about embracing multimedia and changing our industry, changing the way we do things, and operating in a completely new way. And I think that it's the team approach, it's the big cultural shift that we've undertaken at the Examiner that has led to great success in building our audience significantly. We have dramatically grown our online audience, and we have held our readership in what is a really tough market. So that means our overall audience has grown. There are other people, in the workplace, and I often walk through the newsroom and I find myself just smiling, and that's a great sign because it means to me that I love where I am and I love the people that are around me, and we have great confidence in each other. When I was given the opportunity of this job, one of my friends said to me, "You need to find out something about your PA. That person is the most important person to you. They're going to mean everything. They're going to be the gatekeeper. You have to have trust in them." So Edwina Yates and I got together and we met each other, and I have been truly blessed in having a wonderful PA who has come along today to support me here, and I'm appreciative of that because she has to listen to me again, and she once commented, and I'm going to embarrass her, she once commented that she didn't want to come and listen to a speech of mine because she already has to listen to my voice like a bandsaw in the office every day. So she didn't really want to have to listen to it again. But she's putting up with it today. So sorry, Edwina, that I won the award. We also have a fantastic management team led by our General Manager, Phil Learson. Phil, I know, takes great pride in building good teams, and I like to think when I look around the management table, we have a fantastic management team. We have great support from Phil. We have terrific support from Fairfax, our owners, and I know that all of the other people in the other departments right across the Examiner are completely on the same track with editorial. We work brilliantly together. Of course, I also wouldn't be able to do this without my husband Peter, who is the absolute love of my life. Peter and I have been together for 22 years, so Peter was with me before I became a journalist. And recently when I was on holidays and I was writing a story from our shack down at St Helens, I said to him, I'm sorry that you're taking the girls off fishing and I'm sitting here writing a story on my holidays. And he said, if I don't get you now, I never will. It's quite all right. Peter's travelled around the country. We've travelled around the country together working, which has been terrific. And he's also supported me through doing a Masters in International Relations. And we've supported each other through doing IVF to have both of our little girls. When I took on this job, our youngest daughter, Lily, was 10 months old, and we had a 3-year-old as well. And Peter and I talked about it for a long time, and we decided that if I was to do this job, it really had to be a true partnership, and that's the way that it's turned out to be. And I think he's changed more nappies than I have. And the girls now tell me that, the eldest one, who's 4, she'll come back from care and she'll say, Mummy, I did news writing today. And I'll say, I did a bit of news writing too. She'll go, oh, really? And she's never very particularly impressed. So I couldn't do this without them. Again, I'd like to thank the sponsors Telstra and Hudson. I'd also like to say to the other finalists, what a fantastic bunch of business people, not women but business people, and you really do have some terrific stories. I really picked up on something that Anne Murray said about how we're not extraordinary. And I'm usually brought back down to earth pretty quickly on that front by my children, as I think we all are, as Anne said. Recently, our eldest, Amelia, wanted something fixed, and she asked Peter to do it for her. And I said, oh, Mummy will do that for you, darling. And she said, no, you could do it if you were clever, but you're not. Daddy's clever, Daddy will fix it for me. So I'd just like to say that I know exactly where my place is in the world, and I'd like to thank everyone here for coming along today, and thank you for the honour.